Hello, this is Surya Tej and welcome to this presentation on Scrum meetings. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about the 5 ceremonies in Agile Software Development, when do they occur and what purpose do they serve. This presentation assumes that you have some basic knowledge on what is Agile, Scrum, and builds on top of this understanding. The 5 ceremonies that occur during every sprint cycle are Sprint Planning Meeting, Daily Scrum Meeting, Sprint Review Meeting, Sprint Retrospective Meeting, and finally Backlog Refinement Meeting. Each of them occur at a particular time with a proper agenda and serve a distinct purpose. Let us begin with the first one, Sprint Planning Meeting. Sprint planning is an event that kicks off the sprint. As the title indicates, the main motive behind this ceremony is to define a plan of action for the next 1 to 2 weeks on what can be delivered and how it can be achieved. The primary focus is on execution by minimizing unexpected surprises and in delivering a high quality product. This detailing helps in mitigating unexpected roadblocks. Sprint planning often occurs at the start of the week such that the team members are not disturbed by the notion of weekend. The meeting involves the participation of product owner, scrum master, development team, and other stakeholders. The meeting starts with scrum master debriefing the action items from last retrospective meeting. Next, the product owner begins the planning conversation with the development team regarding the expected deliverables from product backlog for the current sprint. He also sets a goal and determines the velocity. One of the toughest challenges during sprint planning discussion is often prioritization. Hence, having a focused sprint goal, accurate data, and determined velocity can make the sprint process smooth to achieve the expectation. Scrum Master facilitates this discussion and resolves any concerns the development team comes up with. Once the sprint goal and velocity are determined, the team walks through the stories suggested and discuss on work involved to complete each story. Ultimately, the resulting sprint plan is a negotiation between the development team and product owner based on value and effort. After the planning conversation and everyone reached a common consensus, the final step is to recap the plan and every individual's first task to make sure no one is duplicating the work. In summary, sprint planning breaks down high-level story descriptions into detailed tasks and provides a thorough estimate for scope of work that can be produced during the sprint. One helpful tip to improve sprint planning is by having up-to-date revised product backlog, which can be achieved by backlog refinement. Next, we have daily Scrum meetings. The main objective for this ceremony is to have quick, informative check-ins and lay out a plan of action for next 24 hours. These tag-ups help in eliminating other meetings, identify blockers, and make quick decisions. These short-timed interactions are planned for every day throughout the sprint. The meetings are so short that you don't even have to book a meeting room for everyone to sit down, hence the common nickname stand-up meetings. There are two ways to run a stand-up. One is round robin, the other is walking through the board. It is essential for all team members to attend these discussions and provide accurate reporting about hours remaining for sprints tasks, which help in generating sprint burn-down metric. In round robin technique, every team member is given a chance to answer 3 questions, which are: what did I work on yesterday? What am I working on today? What is blocking me? The responses must be point to detail and quickly inform the team on what the individual is working upon. Another approach is walking through the board. The Scrum Master goes through the Scrum Ban board displaying various tasks, who owns it, and their current status. A standard practice is to move right to left, focusing on items that are about to be complete and ready to be shipped. To make the best use of stand-ups, it is recommended to avoid small talks and any other trivial conversations. Also, keep track of discussions and raise a flag if someone goes off topic. And most importantly, be well prepared on what you are going to talk before joining the meeting. The third ceremony is the sprint review meeting. A sprint review is much more than a regular meeting. This is the place and time to showcase the product that has been developed during the sprint. These demos are meant to be collaborative, dynamic, informative, thus forming the vital pillars for better software development. The meeting starts with the product owner reviewing the sprint backlog and confirming the tasks that meet the definition of done, followed by the development team demonstrating the feature that has been developed. Whether this outcome satisfied customer needs and accounted for internal dependencies is validated against predefined key metrics. This is essential before pushing the code to production. Now that everyone has witnessed the deliverable, the final focus is on revisiting the product backlog. Grooming this is essential before feeding it to the succeeding sprint planning meeting. Well, we have successfully completed a sprint, reviewed the product backlog, and shipped it to the production. Are we ready to start with the next sprint? How can we improve what we have already been doing? How can we learn from the mistakes made and try not to repeat them? Pause and think. I'll give you 5 seconds. Are you ready? You are correct. It is the retrospective meeting. It is here where the team can reflect on how things went during the last sprint and discuss on the ways to improve the next one. Retrospective occurs after the last sprint review and before the next sprint planning meeting, typically 1 hour for a 2 week sprint. Every team member should attend the retrospective with a facilitator, typically Scrum Master, leading the discussion. Remember, retrospective is not the place for complaining on negative things alone. This is the time to talk about how to make good even better. Appreciate the people who went beyond to achieve the sprint milestone. Coming to the improvements, focus on what didn't go as planned, make a note of past mistakes, potential issues, and new methods to handle such scenarios. Also, when sharing thoughts, refrain from rebuking others and jumping to an immediate solution. Remember, quality information can help assess the health of the Scrum team and process. Finally, construct action items. Let team vote on ideas to implement them within a due date. At last, thank everyone for their participation and honesty. Finally, we are just one step away from starting the sprint planning meeting for a new sprint. This stage is called backlog refinement, or formerly called backlog grooming. This is a crucial step to save time during the actual sprint planning session. And how is that so? Backlog refinement process ensures that the product backlog contains the appropriate items which are prioritized and ready to be delivered. It is essential for product owner and scrum master and optional for development team to attend. The activities that occur during this refinement include removing user stories that are no longer relevant, creating new user stories in response to newly discovered needs, reassessing the relative priority of stories, assigning estimates to stories which have yet to receive one, correct estimates considering newly discovered information, splitting large stories into sub-stories that can be implemented in the stipulated time frame. The end product of this discussion is a revised product backlog. That is all, and we are ready for an exciting new sprint cycle. Now that we have witnessed all 5 Scrum meetings, let's see how do they add value to the process. Increased collaboration. When project responsibilities are assigned to several resources, not just an individual, they are likely to deliver excellent results. A daily Scrum meeting lets teams collaborate on and take ownership of their project performance. Relevant metrics. Team that meets regularly has data that is far more accurate and consistent than that of conventional projects. This includes all areas of project performance, time, cost, and project decisions. Improved progress visibility. Clarity and transparency make Scrum an ideal model to facilitate project management teams in identifying issues, suggest solutions, and predict progress more accurately. Every member of the project is well informed about the updates and happenings at any given time. Increased project control. Scrum meetings provide abundant opportunities to make corrections and control project performance as needed. Better quality. Scrum meetings offer a continual framework of feedback and visible exposure to assure high quality performance. Higher customer satisfaction. When teams meet regularly, they are committed to delivering consistent results that satisfy clients, making project sponsors happy. Increased team morale. Lastly, but not to be forgotten, is the idea that the people who enjoy their work can more successfully motivate their peers. The ecosystem of self organizing team becomes rewarding and more satisfactory when they share feedback with each other. While the benefits looked so promising, it is better to know the common mistakes developers make. Assuming Scrum meetings are easy. Engaging in Scrum meetings without prior training or practice could do more harm than zero meetings. Make sure everyone understands why you are there and what the outcome should be. Not addressing issues. One of the biggest benefits of Scrum meetings is getting everyone together and taking the opportunity to discuss potential problems. If you aren't raising these issues, they won't be addressed. Ineffective stand ups. Daily scrims are designed to keep everyone on the team on the same page while tracking the progress. Unfortunately, daily scrums often devolve into status reporting instead of collaborative discussion about the work committed to. Unrevised backlog. Having an unready product backlog is a big point of failure when it comes to sprints. Take time to groom the backlog well ahead of any scrum meetings. Ignoring retrospective meetings. Most often, teams skip retrospective considering they don't add enough value to the process. But remember, retrospectives are designed for a team to reflect on everything that happened and then brainstorm about the improvements. Overcomplicating meetings. Sometimes, instead of underplanning, we overplan meetings. It's good to want to be prepared for each Scrum meeting, but it's important to remember to keep the meeting agenda simple. This concludes our discussion on Scrum meetings. Remember, folks, the most vital aspect of Agile is communication, and these meetings are solely for that. I thank you for this opportunity. Peace.